Hey Matthew, here is our weekly video review on YouTube. How fancy is that? Everything that we're working on this week involves our 4 chords that we know. Involves our 3-finger G chord. It involves our 1-finger G chord, but 3 strings. And our new 3-finger D7 chord. And by the way, I just want to show you what I just did there. Transitioning from the G chord into that D7 chord, this number 3 finger, which is on the 3rd fret of that 1st string, you keep it pressed down and you just slide it down a fret, and then you add those other 2 fingers. Your 1st finger on 1st fret of the 2nd string, your 2nd finger on 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So again, there's that G chord, slide it back down to our D7. So that's 2 of the chords. And we also have a C chord. And transitioning from the D7 to the C is really quite easy, because all we have to do is lift up those 2 additional fingers on the 2nd frets of the 1st and the 3rd strings. Lift them up, and it changes from a D7 to a C. And then, of course, we got one more chord, and that's the G7. And the G7 is very similar to the C chord. It's just your number 1 finger on the 1st fret. But in the C chord, it's on the 2nd string. And in the G7 chord, it's on the 1st string. So those chords again, we got a G, a D7, a C, and a G7. Did I say G7 earlier? I hope I didn't. So it was G to a D7, to a C, and to a G7. So those are our 4 chords. They're all on the bottom 3 or 4 strings, because the D chord, the one that we're learning, you can actually play the bottom 4 strings. All right, this is page 21 of your guitar book, and I'm going to play through those 3 different examples, those 3 different lesson examples. The first one goes back and forth from a G chord, rest, to a D7 chord. Now again, I want to go over to that little tip that I was trying to show you earlier. All you need to do to transition from a G chord into a D7 is you slide that finger back 1 fret and then add your other 2 fingers down. So here we go again from the beginning of number 1. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 slide it, rest, D, 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 and rest, slide it back up, G, 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 and rest, slide it down, hit the D7, and rest, and G. There is, I'm going to play it one more time for you. This time I'll try and talk a little less, and I'll just kind of let you watch and listen and play along. So here we go, 1, 2, ready, go. G, 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 and rest. D7, 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 rest. G, 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 and rest. D7, 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 rest, and G. So there's our first example. Here's the second one. The second example goes from a C chord, bottom 3 strings, to a D7 chord, and just back and forth between those 2 chords. So from a C to a D7, back to a C. Of course, you're strumming it more than just a single time. So here's number 2, as written on page 21 of your book. Ready, go. C, 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 and rest. D7, 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 rest. C, 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 and rest. D7, 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 rest, and C, 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 and rest. And that's the whole example. Now here's number 3. Number 3 uses all of the chords that we know, and it starts on the C chord. And this example, number 3 on page 21, has no rests. So you don't have any additional time to transition from one chord into the next chord. You just got to do it right on the fly as you play. So here we go. We'll take it and try and take it nice and slow. 1, 2, and here we go. And C, 2, 3, 4 to the D7, 2, 3, 4 into the G, 2, 3, and then to the G7, and now we're back to the C again, the first chord. C, 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 and then to the D7, and then finally back to the G again, G, 2, and then stay on the G for 3 more beats, 2, 3, and rest. Now I realize now as I was just watching the video recording that I kind of let my guitar slip a little. So I'm going to play that whole example one more time. I'll hold my guitar up nice and high so you can see. So here we go, example number 3. 1, 2, ready, go. C, 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 D7, 2, 3, 4, and G, 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 and then to the G7, 1, 2, and then back to the C chord again, 1, 2, 3, then to the D7, and then to the G, here it is, 3, 4, and 3 more beats, 2, 3, and rest. There we go. All right, we've got a couple more examples to look at in our book. I forget the names of these songs. One of them is Oh and the Saints, and the other is Yankee Doodle. So I'm going to play them from the beginning. Oh and the Saints starts on the G chord. Oh and the Saints. And you'll notice in the music that the music begins with a rest. So if I count us in, if I count in 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Oh, when the saints. So we start on beat 2 of the measure, not on beat 1, which is a little bit unusual. So hopefully that'll make some sense. So here we go. This is Oh and the Saints. Let me just adjust my computer here a tiny, tiny bit. Now you can't see the top of my head. Ah, it's such a conundrum. All right. Not that the top of my head is very nice to look at, but we'll see if that works. All right, so here we go. This is Oh and the Saints. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Oh, when the saints. 3, 4, 1. Go marching in. 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, when the saints go march. Get ready to change to the D7. And there it is. There's the D7. Then back to the G. Oh, how I want to G7 be in that. Then to the C number. When the saints go marching in. Rest. I'm going to do that whole thing one more time. This time I won't talk as much. I'll just sing the lyrics so you can follow along. I know you're really good at following the music. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Oh, when the saints. 2, 3, 4, 1. Go marching in. 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, when the saints go marching in. 3, 4, 1. Oh, how I want to be in that number. 4, 1, 2. When the saints go marching in. 3, rest. All right, now Yankee Doodle. Here we go. I'm just going to play this one time for you. Otherwise, this video is just going to be like 27 minutes long, which is way too long. Again, it starts on our G chord, has a D7 chord in it. It has every chord except for the G7. The G7 is the only one that doesn't appear. So here we go, starting on our G chord. 1, 2, ready, go. Yankee Doodle went to town. I'm singing Mary Had a Little Lamb, or I'm singing the wrong melody. Let's try that again. Obviously, don't show this to your friends. Just keep this between you and me, Matthew. No showing this to, your parents or your sister. This is just for you and me. So here we go. This is Yankee Doodle. which is Yankee Doodle went. I got the right melody now. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Rest. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle, dandy rest. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. There we go. That was pretty good. That was much better than the Mary Had a Little Lamb version of Yankee Doodle. I hope that was helpful. Pay attention in the first line of that Yankee Doodle song, how the chord changes when on the very first line, when it goes from the G chord, there's one full measure, but then there's only, in the next measure, there's only 2 beats of the G chord before you transition to the D7 chord. And the D7 chord only lasts for 2 beats as well. So I'll play that again, just that top line. Ready, go. Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony, stuck a... So see how those transitions, they come halfway through a measure and not right at the beginning of a measure, which is a bit unusual for stuff that we've done so far. But I hope that was helpful, and hope you have fun practicing and listening to me sing the wrong melody. And we'll see you next week. Matthew, have a great week. Bye-bye.